What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another CUNYAC Winter Feature. With winter sports canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we here at CUNYAC are spotlighting student athletes once a week during the winter semester, highlighting their accomplishments, talking about their experience at the collegiate level, and what they've been up to over the last year in 2020. I'm your host, Eldris Chavez. You can catch the CUNYAC Winter Feature every Friday here on our website, CUNYAThletics.com, as well as on our YouTube channel, CUNY Athletics Conference, and on our search by searching our social media feeds by searching CUNY Athletics. If you missed our last winter feature, please go give it a watch. I sat down and hostess came in, Reggie Quisada, where we spoke about Hostel's run to the CUNYAC championship, why he decided to go full time playing basketball instead of baseball, and his desire to play basketball professionally in the future. Finally, a big thank you to our sponsor for today's winter feature, HSS Hospital for Special Surgery, the official hospital for the CUNY Athletics. Now, sitting with me today is a two-time CUNYAC champion, a CUNYAC Scholar athlete, a three-time CUNYAC All-Star. She's also the recipient of the 2020 Baruch MVP Award, and she's the president of the Baruch Student Athlete Advisory Committee. She's majoring in marketing with a minor in mathematics with a cumulative GPA of 3.84 from Douglaston, New York. Please welcome the Baruch Bearcat, Amanda Lee. Amanda, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here today. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for asking. Really appreciate it. That's quite the resume right there. Obviously, I left some stuff out, but it's an impressive list just to start off. So let's just get straight into it. First question, pretty simple one. Why Baruch College? What made you decide to study there?
So actually, I didn't intend on staying at Baruch. My intentions were to come here for a year
Hmm.
and then transfer out. My thought process was kind of like, let me stay home, let me go somewhere close to home, save
Yeah.
up some money to transfer out. I ended up joining the swim team and ended up really liking it here. And I figured it might be the smarter choice financially to stay here as well. They had a great program, a business school, and everything. And I was able to work. So I decided to stay here for that.
Okay. Awesome. Looks like it panned out. Like I said, like you accomplished so much in your time at Baruch, so I'm glad for that. So, like I mentioned in the intro, you're majoring in marketing and minoring in mathematics. So, what exactly you want to get into in that field of work?
Yeah, so in marketing, I've recently found that I'm really liking brand strategy, content creation, social media marketing, digital marketing, and advertising. So I want to tap into somewhere there for my career. And then I just like math, but not major in it. So that's just been my minor because I find those classes fun.
Okay, great. So obviously now in like the digital world, especially this past year with COVID, everything's done at home. Has it been easy for you to kind of like utilize these tools that you learned?
Yeah, actually, I feel like with COVID and everything, that everything's online now, so much more is being done digitally for marketing, which is great because a lot of like agencies are opening up and a lot of new things are being like learned. We can do this or that digitally. And I think moving forward, the world will have a lot more digital to it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think this definitely opened the eyes to what could be done from home. Like obviously we're going to have an office, a home office to do certain work, but I think moving forward, yeah, like you said, like there's definitely an opportunity for us to be home and do things that we could do online digitally.
Definitely.
All right, awesome. So have you interned anywhere, or do you work anywhere specifically that kind of like strengthen these skills?
Yeah, so I currently do marketing and strategy for a custom apparel company called Hold On, where I manage some social media accounts. I kind of brainstorm and come up with new strategies there, and then I work in recruitment.
Oh, that's awesome, man. How long you been there?
2 years actually. I started my sophomore year, 2018, I think that was, but I
Yeah.
didn't start off with marketing. I was just the campus representative there. And then around February 2020 is when they asked me to do a little bit more for them.
Okay, awesome, awesome. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so let's transition a little bit here. Let's go, into the CUNYAC part of it. So you're a multi-sport student athlete. One thing I didn't mention is that you also do cross country for the Bearcats. Before the pandemic, before everything happened, how were you able to balance your academics and your commitment to the Bearcats?
Definitely is a lot of time management,
Yeah.
especially because the two sports overlap for about a month and a half, 2 months at a time. So it was like just making sure that I'm using my time efficiently because factoring in both practices, meets for one or two sports, commuting and everything, I just need to make sure that I'm getting my work done. I know when everything is done. I have to stay organized like that. But personally, I feel like it hasn't been too difficult because the transition from high school to college wasn't very different for me. I also did 2 sports in high school. I didn't
Oh,
run,
okay.
I was a gymnast, and I went to Bronx Science. It was a little bit farther away, so there was also a commute. Schoolwork was about the same time. So I don't know. It just was like very natural to me in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
And I feel like it's just very important to stay focused, organized, and manage my time well.
Okay. Any sort of challenges that you might have come across during your time, or even in high school that you might have learned and that you carried with you to the 4 year?
I would say physical burnout a lot, especially running and swimming is so much cardio. Sometimes I find myself not actually having enough energy to do
Hmm.
a lot of those things. So I guess eating the right things, making sure I have enough energy in my body, things like that would probably be one of the hardest things to do.
Okay. Any advice to kind of keep, prevent burnout and things like that?
Make sure you get enough rest.
Hmm.
Make sure you put aside time to relax and have fun too. I feel like a lot of times I'm very hyper focused on everything that's like important and I forget to take a step back and relax. And when that happens, I kind of get overwhelmed and things like that. So it's so important to take time to yourself as well.
No, that's great. That's great advice. Definitely the part taking time for yourself. I think that gets definitely overlooked in any profession, whether you're a student or working professionally. So that's some great advice. So you're the SAC president for Baruch. Talk to me about your role as a president and kind of like what's your responsibilities, pre-COVID to where you're at right now.
Yeah, so I was actually only elected for this year.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
only
congratulations.
And right now we're working on creating some events for Baruch Athletics. So we have National Girls and Women in Sports Day coming up in February. We typically would have Alumni Day, Bearcat Alumni Day, and Battle of Lex in February, all 3 great events that we always have. But now we're trying to figure out how we can do this virtually, how we can get all our students involved, everyone in athletics. So we're just planning those things out right now. And a lot of meetings, a lot of ideas to come across, things like that.
Okay, that's awesome. And Battle of Lex, that's Battle of Lexington. So like Baruch against different universities on Lexington Avenue. That's I'm
Yeah,
assuming that's what it is.
the annual basketball game against Hunter because Hunter's on Lex, but farther up north, and then we're like on 23rd and Lex. So battle of.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's a cool catchphrase. It's the first time I heard of it.
Oh,
That's awesome. Yeah, and I haven't heard the Battle of Lexington. That's pretty cool. I like that.
it's clever.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, did you come up with that? Or that was already
No,
there?
no, no, no. I remember like learning what it was, and I was like, wow, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. That's great. All right, cool. So, like I mentioned, you're a CUNYAC champion. You actually won your first 2 years as a Bearcat for swimming. Last season, Bearcats fell just short. Can you talk about just like the hard work and the dedication it takes to be one of the best teams year after year?
So I think my first year was the first time we've won in a few years. And like me being a freshman didn't really understand how much it meant, but I could see it on my teammates' face and it was
Yeah.
great. Everyone was pushing so hard to drop times, to place higher in their events so that we would win. And then I guess the second year we kind of took everything we felt from that first year and continued because we wanted to keep our streak. We wanted to keep going and like hold our title. And it was great. Everyone was working so hard. We were all pushing each other, working together to get to where we were. And I think this, like, I keep forgetting that it's a new year. Last year,
Yeah, and that's all right. I
kind of fell
happened the
short
same
of
thing.
the numbers. We had a
Uh-huh.
lot of graduating seniors the year before, so it was tough because Hunter didn't really have any graduating seniors, so we just didn't have a big enough of a team to get there. But we still worked really hard, and everyone did their best, and I'm really proud of everyone there. Um, I guess a lot of it comes from my heart, like passion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that pushes me a lot to like want to keep working and want to keep pushing towards new goals, new times, things like that. Even if we didn't win the championship, we had other conference meets where we were placing for ourselves. We sent like 8 girls to ECAC's
Hmm.
opens at Naval Academy this year. Last year we had only sent 4, which was a pretty big accomplishment for us too.
But Amanda, in our lifetime, we've never seen a year like 2020. How has this past year been like for you? And what's something you learned about yourself that you didn't know existed before?
So I feel like this was a very big year for me, like
Yeah.
online and everything, both sports being canceled. I feel like personally, I've been very used to a life full of structure,
Hmm.
always having practice, games, meets, things like that, where it's like, okay, I know I have school, I have this, I have that later on. Now it's kind of like, oh, I only have school. And I didn't really know how to deal with it. It was a very big change, kind of
Mhm.
having so much more time in my life. So it has been a little bit rough. Like
Yeah.
it's a little hard to, get up early when you don't really have to go to practice or something like that. Or motivate yourself to go work out when you don't have your teammates with you and everything. So it has been really hard. Um, I guess I've kind of learned that I didn't know I was gonna be like this and not be able to handle it as well. But at the same time, I kind of realized that I'm graduating this year and it would have been like this next year anyways. I'm not really used to not having that kind of like team community with me all the time on top of
Yeah.
school and work and things like that. So it was a big adjustment. Still going through it, still learning. We're getting there though.
Yeah. I totally empathize with you. I can only imagine how that's like to kind of have things just stripped away from you, like just one after the other. It must have been a big learning curve, just to kind of transition into this new way of life. So I totally get it. Obviously, the vaccine is here. Uh, Hopefully by summer, we'll kind of get back to some normalcy, maybe not 100%. But for sure, maybe be able to get back to school and get back to some sort of daily routine, I guess, if you want to call it like
Yeah,
that.
I think I actually saw something earlier today that CUNY said, or Baruch said, that in the fall we might just be back in person for classes.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's what we're hoping for. I don't want to speak out of terms, but we did have that conversation as well as a conference. Not necessarily the sports part, but when the students get to go back to school, and fall is the goal. Um, Congratulations on being a senior. So you're gonna graduate. That's awesome. So I'm glad that's gonna happen. Uh, Talking about graduation, is there something that you're gonna miss? When the time comes to end at Baruch?
Like I said, definitely the team, the community, just having people there. My coaches, all my teammates and everything have always pushed me to be my best, like not only in the water when I'm running, but kind of as a person too, like through
Yeah.
school and everything. Kind of just having people going through the same things as you, especially as an athlete, being tired in the middle of the day when your hair is soaking wet or your arm is sore or something like that. It's something that some of my other friends like may not understand. So I love that I have everyone that I can relate to right there, and just being around them it's going to be really weird not to have that anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss the athletics. I don't know how much swimming or running I'll be doing. So I will definitely miss that, and training and meets and everything. It's just an amazing environment. I really like it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Amanda, for being here and taking time out to talk to me. I do have one more question for you. Uh, in the future, let's say 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess I hope to see myself at a marketing agency, maybe have one of my own then. I hope to be 10 years from now is what, 31. I hope to be married. I hope to have at least one or two kids by then and just kind of have like the happy, healthy life,
Yeah.
but stable life. Kind of right now it's like a bunch of uncertainty. So I'm hoping in 10 years it'll be much more stable.
No, I get it 100%. And all the best. Amanda, thank you again for joining me. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to end this conversation with?
Um, I don't think so. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me today. Happy New Year to everyone, and good luck with the rest of the school year or next semester.
All right, awesome. Well, Amanda, again, wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. I hope when 31 rings that you'll definitely have your own company, your family, everything under your belt. And I'm sure, at least like I said at the beginning, this resume that you have, I'm sure you're just going to expand on that. And there's no doubt that come 10 years from now, you'll be exactly where you want to be.
Thank you. That
No
means
problem. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me again. I've been having a blast talking to these student athletes at a more personal level. Just a reminder, the winter features air every Friday here on our website, cunyathletics.com. Again, by searching up social media feeds, by searching CUNY Athletics. For Amanda Lee, I'm Eldridge Chavez. And until next time, cheers.